Hey everyone, and welcome to another week in music. We have a new song of the month because it is now February, so you can click on this URL right here to listen to that. And then we're going to review the orchestra today. We're going to talk about the different instrument families, and then we're going to talk about Peter and the Wolf by Prokofiev, and we'll learn a little bit more about that. Hopefully you remember some of the things. This would be from first grade. We learned some of the themes, but now that we know more about the orchestra, hopefully those will become more familiar to you. So let's look right here. This is our conductor, and then the instrument group closest to him. Remember, we have 4 instrument families. We have the string family, and the string family is represented by Peter in Peter and the Wolf. But for each of these, you can go and listen to them by clicking on it. Like if I come over here to the double bass and click on it, it gives me some information about it, and then gives you a clip to listen to. All right, and that is from Carnival of the Animals, which is another great work. But you've got the cello, the violas, the violins, and the harp. So you can come and listen to those and learn more about those instruments. The next family is the woodwinds. So back to strings for just a moment. Remember, it's the strings that make the sound, that are vibrating in order to make the sound. And the winds, which are the woodwinds and the brass, it's the air that's vibrating. And the woodwinds are the flute and the oboe and the clarinet, the bassoon, and the piccolo. And we have a couple of these, actually 3 of them, I think. No, 4 in our story. So we're going to talk about those in just a minute. Then we have the brass family. That's represented also in our story with the French horns. And remember, with the brass family, those are the ones that have the round mouthpiece. They're that brassy color, or they could be silver, but they do have that round mouthpiece, and that helps us know if it's a brass or a woodwind instrument. And the percussion family, we did talk about that this year. Those are instruments that you strike, you shake, or you scrape to make a sound. And so all of these instruments do that. And in our story, the big timpani are in our story. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to reset this so you can come back and listen to those if you would like. And then we're going to meet the composer, who is Prokofiev. And if you want to hear him say the name, that's him right here, the pronunciation. But it says Russian composer Sergei Prokofiev was commissioned to create a musical symphony for children. So he was asked to write this piece, and for kids in mind. So it's perfect for us. He lived from 1891 to 1953. And this is our da-da-da-da. This is our musical, or our piece that we're listening to today with Peter and the Wolf. So here's the story. Peter and the Wolf is a musical story about a boy named Peter who explores the meadow with his friends, the bird, the duck, and the cat. Peter's grandfather warns him of the wolves that live in the forest. When brave Peter sees a wolf, he realizes his friends are in trouble. He gets a rope and springs into action. So he's wanting to catch that wolf and save his friends. So here are the characters. So here's Peter in this story. Here's the bird. There's grandfather. There's the cat, the duck, the wolf, and the hunters. And if you click on each one, it tells you a little bit more about each character. So I'll let you go back and do that. And then here is where you can listen to the piece. I would just probably listen to this first one to introduce you to each of the sounds for each instrument. And then if you need to listen to more, or you would just like to, all of these together are here. If you want to listen to the whole thing, it's down here on number 11. But we're going to go move ahead. And this right here, which let me go back and do that again to make sure I show you. So you're going to click in here, and then you're going to play this, and it's going to give you the sound for each character. So we start out with, actually it doesn't start with grandfather. Hang on just a second. It's going to come up here in a minute. There we go. So there's Peter, and there's his sound. Strings. The bird and the flute. You have the cat as the clarinet, or the clarinet as the cat. There's our duck sound by the oboe. There's grandpa or grandfather and the bassoon, another woodwind instrument. There's that wolf sound with the 3 French horns. And then you have the rifles of the hunters who are out hunting the wolf, and they are represented by the timpani. So that just gives you a little snippet of each of those as well, to familiarize yourself with the different sounds. Because then you're going to come here and you're going to try to figure out which sound goes with which character. So I think some of the ones that would be easiest, what do you think? Probably Peter. We know we're listening for violins, right? The string family. And then the bird is that high flute sound, so we probably can tell that pretty quick. The hunters with the drums, doing the drum beats. And the wolf with that kind of scary sound. I think that one might be easier. The other ones we may have a little trouble with. So we'll just try to narrow it down. So let's listen to this first one. Now I know which one that is, but you may not know which one it is yet. So we're going to leave that one right here. Let's go to the next one. I'm going to keep moving on. Oh. What kind of instrument does that sound like? So maybe that would be Peter, because Peter is the only one that has a string instrument. So you would just drag that over there. And then you'll get to check it once you get all of them filled in. So just keep going. When you hear that flute sound, you know that's going to be the bird and the wolf, and see how well you do. So this is not for a grade right here. This is just getting you used to it, because when you get to your exit ticket, you're going to identify them there. So let's go ahead and look at that. Let's see. This is just another practice. This is what's the instrument. And so the first one, it starts with the bird. And so now instead of doing it by the sound, you're looking for the right instrument. So we've got the flute. And if you get it right, it does that. And if you don't get it right, let's see what happens. You just try again. And so you get to go try again. So no big deal, but that's helping us learn what the instrument sounds like and looks like. So then we have our exit ticket or our assessment. So you're going to click Start. What is the name of the composer who wrote Peter and the Wolf? So if you forgot, you can go back and listen to that again. But it says Rachmaninoff, Prokofiev, Mahler, or Beethoven. Which one composed Peter and the Wolf? And we had it on one of the very first slides. So if you need to go back and look at it again, do that. The next one. Look at there. It tells us the answer to the first one. Prokofiev was commissioned to write an orchestral piece for which group of people? Who did we say he was going to write it for? Was it children? Was it adults, college students, or grandmas and grandpas? All right, and number 3, how many characters are in the story? I'll let you figure that out. Whose theme is this? And so then you have to listen to it and decide, is it the duck, the cat, the hunter's rifles, or grandfather? And each one of these next ones are the same thing. That's what I'm saying. If you go back and you practice those other activities, this should be really easy for you. Now once you get to the end, you click Submit on the orange button, remember? And then the green button will come up that says OK, and then you are done for the week. They have this activity where you can make your own listening map. You do not have to do that. You just, if you want to make one about the cat creeps toward the bird, it gives you the scene, and then you come here, and then you can click on the crayon, and then you can draw a picture of the cat creeping toward the bird. But that's just an extra activity and nothing that is required for you. So other than that, that is it for this week. I'll try to put a little fun activity at the end for you. And if you have any questions, make sure you contact me. Have a great week. Bye-bye.